there's too much conversation that I want to have on this show today, and we could spend so much time talking off air. But Hip Hop Mike, live from my crib. I got a special guest live from his. Dropped a project last night, the first of I'm sure many to come. Lil
Yes,
Jufu, Big Jufu, whatever you want to call him. Jufu's in the building. What up, man?
who am I?
Who are
I
you? You were Big
thank you,
Jufu.
bro.
You're not Little Jufu.
Not anymore, not.
After dropping that project, I don't even know. I mean, I was talking to your manager last night. Shout out to Don. We were talking about the artwork and how it's just like crazy. Like it gave me real Dexter vibes, but he corrected me perfectly. Neo from the Matrix.
Right.
But we'll talk about that and a lot more. Let's just set it off like this. How are you feeling? How does it feel the morning after dropping what is the first project?
It's really like just the whole release was super like surreal for me because like I did a whole like Zoom listening party last night. So I had like all my supporters come in and we filled up the Zoom, and it was just super, super amazing. Like just to be able to see everybody from all over the world. Super surreal. And there's a song on the project called Surreal, so like tied together perfect.
You're a beast at the promo. Like I gotta give you credit, man. You were basically a marketing machine, a music making machine. You do the funny videos, like you do it all, bro.
Yes, sir.
So the Zoom was lit last night. Now the project's out. Have you gotten some feedback of people telling you that they love it? Has anybody given you negative feedback?
Everybody really likes it, and surprisingly, like the songs that I expected people to like gravitate to the most are not the songs that like people like everything, but
Okay.
certain songs that they're gravitating towards, and it's like, oh wow.
Well, creative wise, did you like create stuff with that like thought in mind at all? Like these are the records that are gonna go. These are the ones that I don't know, but I really like them.
Overall, like when I was making, every time I make a song, like I usually absolutely love it, and then it's my favorite song ever when I just complete it. But then I listen to it like a 5,000 times, and then I don't like any of it anymore, and I'm just ready to create something new. So
Then
it's
I gotta
like
make another
now
song.
my perception of it is like, whoa.
Well, nah, I mean, after you came out originally, I think people know you from Who Are You? That was just such a
Right,
big record. And we spoke about before how you never expected that to be like how crazy it was.
right.
So now to be dropping a project, giving them multiple records to choose from, is there any like idea of what might be the next viral one? I'm really
To
hoping
be
that.
honest, I feel like using the power of TikTok, like I could make pretty much every song on the project really go. And it's just all about like with the same thing with Who Are You. It was about the video that I made, the first video that I made to the song. It was kind of like an example video for people to have an idea of what type of content to make with that song. So I'm gonna come up with different content. Well, I have a couple of content pieces already for each song on the project, and basically I expect like the same effect to happen for each one
So
though.
get used to me.
Yes.
I could imagine why you came up with that name, but what is it for you that Get Used to Me was about? Is it like, I mean, it's perfect for the first project.
So basically, we had a very hard time coming up with like the name for the project. So what we did was just one day, like the label was like, all right, we need a name. So we're there like, all right, what are we gonna call this? Because it's so versatile. So it's like it's hard to really box it into like a certain title or direction. Um, so what we ended up doing was just like thinking about um just like my story, and I'm somebody who's coming from social media, and it's really hard for people usually to go from social media into music, or like Drake going from acting to music, but it worked out for him. So that's a bad example, but just
The most
overall,
part.
like a lot of people tend to like not take people seriously when they're transitioning like that. Um, so the title is just basically Get Used to Me in the music world, because I'm going to establish myself here, whether you
I
like it
think
or not.
I think you already have, regardless. I think, you've planted the seeds, man, for sure. Being with a major now, right? Because Who Are You
I
was dropped completely on your own, independent of any label. being with a major now, how has it been working with them? What does it add to the project? And how is it like kind of broaden the horizons for you? Do they give you any like advice on how to make this transition?
So to be honest, like I feel like working with a major makes it a little more complicated in terms of the release. I like things to be really simple, but overall, like everything kind of just feels the same. I'm just working a little harder, and I know that there's this machine now behind me that can take my hard work to another level. So
Got you. I
that's
think
I
that's
didn't really I missed your like I didn't answer your question exactly,
nah.
but
You answered it better than I definitely was expecting, because I'll say this. I don't think people realize like what the roles of majors are. And I mean, it's a trick question, but not a trick question, I guess, in the sense of like my purpose of asking you that is because a lot of people that watch my content, right? They're like kids that are on the come up, and
right.
they might look at somebody like yourself, right? Young kid, went viral off of a record, has a deal now, dresses super fly, you know, has a little bag, is doing their thing, and get the wrong idea and think like, oh, well, you know, he signed to a label, so that's him, that's not me, you know. And I ask you that because I'm familiar enough with the situation to know that like you're the one that's really creating the content, you understand the culture, you know what's going to work for the, you know, the fan base that you have.
Right.
But when you sign to a major, it's more of a job opportunity than a lottery win, because you know, they're expecting a lot of things from you as far as like delivering the content and it reaching these heights, and they're going to help you however they can. But ultimately it starts and ends with you, you
Right.
know? So it's dope that exactly what you said, that they're able to help it get to this new level. But the fact that you're still super, super conscious and on top of it, from coming up with the
I have
name,
to be more than ever
putting
now.
together records, it's important. Another thing I'll
Like
say about you that I know, and not a lot of people are woke to this, but the spiritual mind, right? I mean, you
yes,
told me
sir.
right before we started this, you've been spending the month really trying to get into this space. I think more people need to do that, including myself. Like I kind of just learned that
Especially
last
during
year.
this time.
Yeah. What is that about? Like what really puts you on that lane of like, there's a time to dedicate to making sure that your mind and your body's in a good enough space to approach all the, you know, the intricacies of this music industry.
So basically the way that I see it is just like if you really want to just if you want to achieve the things that you want, you really need to be mentally in the right space to do so and spiritually in the right place. Um so overall it's like are we editing this?
We can edit it if you need. I
Okay,
know you
okay.
had a long day. I already know.
Yeah, no. So I mean I know what I
I
want to
got you.
say. I know what I say. You it lagged a little bit, but you were saying like how how
I'm more asking like what it is that you've been doing this month that keeps your head in the space
right.
to deal with all of this shit. Because I mean, not to put it, I know deal with all this shit sounds so negative. It's really great, positive, productive shit, but it is
Yeah.
still a lot of shit nonetheless. Like, you know, you're multitasking and you have not just expectations from the business side, but also from the cultural side, you know? So like, I give you a lot of credit because we've had conversations about like the said gurus of the world or things that are just kind of like, you know, expanding to keep you in this good place. Today, clearly you're in a great place. You're chilling, you know, you dropped your project last night, you had the Zoom with everybody, but you know, you could have just as easily woke up yesterday, you know, super nervous and stressed about this.
Right.
So I guess my question is, and I probably asked it real sloppy, but like my question is really just how do you stay in that place and not allow yourself to be like hard on yourself about numbers, about fans, about the label, about all the things that come with this at your age?
Um really like I I feel like I just take an optimistic approach on everything. And the way that I do that is just kind of just being kind to everybody and everything around me. Like just being a positive individual helps me. I'm like I don't know why that question is so hard for me
Nah,
to
it's a tricky one.
get to.
All right, we'll move on to the next one.
That one that will come back to me. Like literally
I
It
already
will
know. We've
yeah,
had
go
enough
ahead.
conversations. I already know you super woke. I know there's a lot going on today. You doing press and all kinds of shit.
Today's yeah.
We can keep it to the project. I mean, to be honest, because I have to ask you about the video. I mean, first virtual
Yes,
reality video I've ever seen. I swear I thought it was Mim's idea off rip when I saw it, just because of
really
how technologically savvy he is.
true.
But I'm sure it was your idea because you're also just as technologically savvy. Where did
Please.
that come from?
All right, so the What's the Vibe animated video, basically, well, coronavirus is a thing right now, so I
Yeah.
couldn't actually shoot a video. The initial vision that I actually had was to have like a house party and like a house party video, and I wanted it to be like all one take, and the camera's like moving throughout the house. I don't know if you've seen there's a Gold Link video, Gold Link Tyler the Creator, and it's called You Say.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna pull
really,
that up.
really love that video, and I wanted to do something along like the lines of that. But I ended up we ended up doing the animated video because of the coronavirus, and yeah, it's a really fun video, and I still want to do like the official video too, but I
Okay.
don't know when we can do that yet. But yesterday, me and Don, my manager, we were talking about turning the world from the music video into an actual playable virtual reality world where like all
Oh,
my fans can come to this house party. So it's
that'd be
gonna
absurd if you could like actually have people like come and play it as if it was a game.
right,
I'm gonna share the screen right quick.
but
So this is the house party kind of
yeah,
aesthetic you talking about.
exactly. That's the feel that I wanted, but just like not in that setting, just like a house, like an actual like suburban house.
Got you.
Yes, sir.
More on brand. How's Ma Dukes doing? I saw her posting a lot of the content. I see her doing her thing on the gram going viral.
My mom is good. I feel like just in the last between let me think like March no, I want to say as of the beginning of like April till now, which is not even a lot of time. I feel like time doesn't really define somebody's growth, but literally between the month of April and now, I feel like I've matured a lot, and that's making me and my mom closer. Like me and my mom have like just had a little bit of like a turbulence because like I'm always so like super invested into like my work, and I don't spend enough like family time. But yesterday my mom was there for the Zoom release party, sitting right behind me, and it was fun and everything was smooth, and I'm very happy to like just to kind of acknowledge things like that and consciously make the decision to like be like, all right, I'm gonna take a break from this, spend some more time with family.
And that's great that she had that conversation with you because I mean, right before we jumped on this Zoom, right? I was on another Zoom because we spend all
Right.
day zooming now. And I was talking to my friend Mike, who's he's basically Cheeklet Millenni's manager, right? So I asked him because he used to work in music. Now he does the management for them, which is more like comedy entertainment. But I asked him, I said, what's the biggest difference as a manager and approaching it now, in your 40s in this realm as opposed to when you're 22 just getting started with a musician. And he said something that really it triggered something in me to kind of think because I'm somewhere in between where at 22 he wanted to be Puff. He's like, you want to be this executive, you want to have all this money, you want the girls, you want the fame, the recognition, rah, 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 rah.
Right.
And now at 45, he's like, I want to make sure that my family's good. I want to spend more time with them. I want the personal, like sincere, solid connections as opposed to having multiple loose ones, I guess, in a sense.
You
And
saying that just made me think of like my entire life
well, it's wild.
in a
Yeah,
way.
me too. And I'm about to be 30 this year. So
Mm,
that was my thing with you is it's dope because for me and him, nobody really came along and was like, being Diddy's great, but being in like tight with your family and all too. And granted, me and
that's where it
him at
starts.
your age were nowhere near as successful. So like for you to not be getting lost in it and to have people like that pulling you back and kind of being like, you know what, it's great that you have all this attention that you're invested, but still you have a family here that's going to be here whether other people invest back or not is really important. And it's good that she's kind of talking to you about that. But what are your thoughts on that?
Now back to what you were saying about like when he was 22, he was thinking about like being an executive, all the girls, etc.
He
Like
said, in his words, he wanted to wear a shiny suit and be Diddy because he liked to dance.
with me, it's like I because I've been in social media since 2013, so it's like I feel like his 20s was like my teens in a way. So I have a different view of like just success right now. And like I don't really care about much materialistic things in anywhere. Like I've kind of eliminated my ego in a certain sense. It's weird, but
Let me see the
like
tag on
just
that
the
shirt.
the things that I like that I strive for and like my perception of success is just more about self-fulfillment and being happy. And the way that I achieve that is literally by spreading smiles and making other people happy and being kind to the world. My vision, I think we spoke about this in our last interview together. Um, my vision is really just to influence people and influence people in a positive way and inspire people to just be kinder to the world. I feel like even though I'm one person, I can really just it can go a long way and I can potentially shift like reality. That's the goal for me, really just to shift like the world. And I was talking about this earlier too yesterday. Um with Donovan, I was saying like there's a lot of like not problematic, but a lot of artists that are surrounded by negative things or do some negative things and it gets out there. And I feel like um as I establish myself more in music, I can hopefully inspire some more artists to just be more kind and positive. And I want them overall to inspire their fans to be positive, like a domino effect. Like just
Nah, I
that's
love it. I mean,
the goal.
I think you've already kind of proven to have an impact with just the first record with, what happened with Who Are You and it reaching people from the youngest kids ever to the oldest people to people like Will Smith,
Right.
getting behind it. And it wasn't necessarily because of anything controversial or it was just fun, lighthearted, good time, good energy. So
Right.
the fact that you do that in the music and in the message is like equally impressive, man.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm not gonna take up too much more of your time, but I do want to ask, which I mean, I guess contradicts the last question, but like, what are you gonna spend all this money on? What's the first thing you're doing? I'm sure you're gonna spend it on Ma Dukes,
So
considering your answer to the last one, but
basically, and that's another thing too. One of the things that drives me a lot is that I want to give back to my family in like multitudes because I feel like just over the last 7 years, I've literally just been um so focused, like I said, on my work and not really acknowledging my family around me, which is very bad. Like I've just been so focused on the internet family, like my supporters. But overall, I'm just trying to show love to my family, show love to pretty much everybody. So, in terms of money, um, I haven't really thought of like any crazy spending. I do want to move to LA with a group of friends, and all my spending would just really be on things that I need, like investing in myself so that I can make what I do easier and be able to produce more of what I do. But like overall, I don't really have any like I want a Tesla, but like
who doesn't?
just to get around. But I don't really like want anything crazy. I don't need like a big house, big pool or anything like that.
I love it, man. I'll say this too. Definitely check out. I was watching this morning. Joe Rogan just dropped a new one with Elon. That's pretty
Joe
good.
Rogan, no fap.
No Rogan?
Joe
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 Rogan.
Rogan is like isn't he like like a big advocate for like no fap and like
I don't know. He's a
all right,
big
there's a movement called NoFap, and I feel like I swear I saw his name associated with that.
no
But
fat. Hang on.
that's something I'm really big on too. Semen retention. It's
Okay,
very
well,
healthy.
put me on. I don't know anything about that, so please put me
All
on. No
right,
fat?
so all right, I'm gonna put you on and everybody else that watches this.
All right.
Um,
We're all part of the youth guys.
our sexual energy, our sexual energy is very important to conserve, and when you conserve that energy, you are able to manifest more things that you would like. So, um, Yes. No fat.
Got you. No fat. So it's
Yes,
basically
but definitely look more into it. I'm not gonna get crazy
I
deep
know
into
you're
it.
young. Cover your ears. It's basically don't do filthy things unless filthy
Yes,
things are necessary to do.
exactly. It takes away energy,
Okay.
physically and spiritually, and it slows you down big time.
All right.
Kanye West has talked about it a lot.
Really.
Um, yeah. Um, Terry Crews.
Poor
Um,
King.
yeah,
Poor
just like really successful people.
Terry. I'm gonna
Definitely.
definitely I'm gonna look into that crazy. I don't know if Joe Rogan's part of it, but if Kanye's on it and successful people do it, I'm sure Joe Rogan does too. But
Yes, sir. I'm
you
gonna
are,
look. I'm looking at Joe Rogan right now, just to see if I was right about that. Yep, I
yeah,
was. Yes, sir.
you learn something every day. No fap. I'm about to go watch that video. I'm telling you, watch the one with him and Elon Musk today. It's really, really
I
insightful.
love Elon Musk, and I gotta look more into Joe Rogan for sure.
Oh man, you're welcome to a whole new world. With watching Joe
Bet.
Rogan, bro, it's like taking said guru and combining it with like I don't even know. It's just the craziest shit.
Have we spoken about Sadhguru before?
I think like once or twice.
Cause wow, okay.
I'm obsessed. I'm like every morning, but like I watch that. I listen to Alan Watts. Like I listen to a ton of different like Murdy, like all kinds of different speakers. And Joe Rogan is just kind of like a modern day version that's like a little younger and more hip to the shit. Like he's like a
Right,
guru that says fuck and smokes weed. So it's like I'm all for it. Oh,
right.
Russell Brand. Do you watch any Russell Brand?
Russell Brand, I've seen what he's been up to since like his acting career. But like I've seen what he's been doing on YouTube. I haven't looked too deeply into it, but because you just said so, I'm definitely gonna look into him too.
Yeah, man. I could give you lists for days, but Russell Brand
Bet.
and Joe Rogan are definitely at the top of those lists for sure.
I
Just
want to have another interview with you, like specifically, just like all around
we need to
this
do that. That's the one
ASAP.
I'm really looking forward to because I love talking to you. I love listening to this project more though. No disrespect.
Thank you.
And just because I know you when you talk about music and the project and everything, you know, you obviously you have things to push. You have fans that want to hear all about, you know, the behind the scenes and working. Not everybody, especially your fans are on the younger side, is even able to wrap their head around or keep up. Oh, hang on a second. I'm gonna try to figure that out for my damn self before we end this. But a lot of your fans, like I was saying, are just like they're younger and you know, I don't think that they necessarily wrap their head around stuff the same way that you know we do in a sense. Like I mean
Right,
maybe some of them, but there's definitely a handful of people that are just like we don't want to hear about this conscious rah rah. And
right.
you know the
And
fact that oh I got the best picture ever to make my background, this is gonna be lit. How do I do that? Shit.
I know exactly where you're coming from, by the way, though.
You know what I'm
Like,
talking about? It took me a
yeah,
while, honestly.
especially me because I have a young audience. Especially like a lot of kids just know me from Who Are You, um, and the way that I like really just start, I guess, teaching or influencing them, and simplifying it is just telling them be kind, be loving, and be positive towards everybody. And then as they get older, I feel like they already have their mind in the right place to kind of just get deeper into it.
Yeah, nah, I mean it's super important, man. It's just like it's tough. It's tough to kind of sway people sometimes to really pay attention to that. Yo, you can't even see. This is ridiculous. I'm so
You're,
disappointed.
oh, that's me. I
It
could
is,
tell
but
it's
I can't
me.
see it. Damn. I had a great picture of Jufu for y'all. But yeah, man, I appreciate your time today. I know you got a lot of shit
Appreciate you,
going
man.
on and you got more press to do, but yeah, if you ever get a chance, watch some of that stuff and let's definitely let's catch up on that and you know, keep up all the great work, man. Get used to me. I'm already used to you, but I'm excited to see
Thank you. So wait,
more.
I'm gonna look into, like I said, Joe Rogan,
Joe Rogan
Joe Rogan,
and Russell
Russell
Brand.
Brand
Sure.
for like the next like 2 weeks, and I feel like in about 2 weeks we should definitely get on another Zoom.
All right.
Talk about it.
Say the word, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going
All
anywhere. I
right,
promise you. I will be in my house.
bet.
You're the man, Jufu.
All right.